Hello, hi, welcome back. It's me, it's Malcolm, and I'm really sorry that I have not uploaded in a while. I'm also trying to figure out how to sit in this camera in this view because if you haven't noticed by now, I'm in a different room. I have officially moved way far away, so I will be addressing that because there's a reason why I didn't want to talk about it too much until it like fully happened. Um, this video won't have any cuts. I just want to get into it. It's probably going to be very short, but I wanted to do this video more so for myself, more so for just kind of like an explanation for people that did want to keep subscribed to this channel, that did stick around for this channel, or just kind of confused about everything that happened to me last year. If you were worried, because I know I post a lot of cryptic things on Twitter and YouTube and stuff, and there is a lot of things that happened that I did not tell anyone publicly because of what I'm about to tell you. So there's going to be two parts to this whole shebang and bang. The first part is why I kept my move kind of quiet on the down low, and I really didn't want to talk about it that much. The second part is going to be the lack of uploads and like my whole thought process behind that, because there was like a bigger reason that I myself didn't really think about until it was over. And like, I'm in a new space. Like, this is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. I'm living with my girlfriend still. So we moved to like a bigger place. So essentially this room is for YouTube videos specifically, but it's also a guest bedroom. My cat's in the background. Hi. Do you want to come in the video? Come here. My boy's in the video. He's probably just gonna chill here. So let's just get into it because I don't want to hold up anybody's time. This is going to be like a 30-minute video. Just want to talk about some things. So my girlfriend, right? She used to live in Missouri, and she moved here to live with me after we got together. But before that, my girlfriend was living with an abusive ex, and I really can't say much else. She said I could talk about this, but I'm not going to give you like the details, but pretty much we couldn't reveal that we were dating because I think they were together for 5 years, and in that 5 years he did the following. He convinced her to get a joint account to like share money, which it wasn't to share money. We'll get to that. He also, you want to go down? I gotcha. There you go. How do I say it? He's very racist. That's the best part, by the way. He's very racist. We couldn't reveal that we were dating because she was actually living in this like trailer home area where her parents own the place. So this, I think she was just finishing up this lease, or she was doing like a month-to-month lease thing with her ex's parents, and she was afraid that if he found out that she was dating someone else, or like the parents found out that she was dating someone else, that they would just kick her out, which they did. Illegally, I feel, but whatever, we'll get to that. The first time she did fly out here, we couldn't really post about it that much, and then it turns out that I didn't know this part, she kind of told me about it later. He kept calling her, and mind you, they've been broken up for a long time at this point. So he's one of those exes that thinks, oh, you're still talking to me as a friend, so that means we're still together. So if you've ever dealt with an ex like that, that's pretty much what she was going through for a long time. So she didn't tell the truth about why she was out here. She was out here to be with me, hang out with me, and then she flew back. And then he found out that She was hanging out with another guy, and then of course he got mad. He apparently hit her, from what she told me, and basically said, you have like 2 days to get out. Basically like a forced move, because his feelings, his fragile little ego was so hurt. So she was dealing with that, but luckily I was in the process of wanting to move anyway out of my parents' house, which is the apartment you guys saw in the previous videos. It was my first ever apartment. So he found out, basically treated her like garbage. So we had to figure out a plan to get her down to Maryland as fast as possible, but in a way that wasn't like too hectic. So it was only 2 weeks, but those 2 weeks he did treat her like garbage, like I said, basically like forcing her to move out. Didn't really give her the proper time to gather her stuff, which unfortunately she did have to leave some stuff behind. But it turns out this guy was a huge liar and manipulator, and one of the worst financial abusive people I've ever heard of. So let me just try to keep it on track, because I know I'm going all over the place and I'm just trying to remember all these things, because it was a lot. And it really did affect me, but not in the way that he probably thinks it did. Because he was also the type of racist to say things about black people when he knew black people were around, because he knew it would get on their nerves. And if you're that type of racist, we laugh at you because we think you're dog shit. So there was this storage unit where most of her like childhood memories were in, like her stuff. And actually, let me go first, because the money thing happened first. So let me go back. So of course, when you move, you need funds, you need money to get yourself started. You're about to look for a new job in a new state if you haven't done so already. So she was getting herself money to pay me for the security deposit, half the first month's rent, just so you know, because I paid for everything up front, and then she was going to pay me back with her tax refund. But, and this is a big but, and this was last year, and I think in 2021, if you got a stimulus check from Biden and his administration or something like that, I think you get it taken off of your refund or something. So remember that they have joint accounts. This is very important. So she did her tax refund, and one of the prompts, I think, said, did you get a stimulus check? And of course she hit no, because she doesn't remember getting one. She would have remembered if she got, like, I think it was $1,200 or whatever, or was it $600? I think it was two, but I think it was the $1,200 one they were asking about. So she hit no, thinking like, okay, I didn't get that stimulus check. I never got it. So the taxes get accepted, or so she thought. So I think a couple days later, they hit her back with, actually, we had to deduct the stimulus check because you already got it. So we're taking that $1,200 out of your refund. So you're only getting this much back, which at the time, it didn't click to me. But the more and more I thought about it, I just kind of told her, I was like, hey, with that joint account, did the stimulus go in that account? And I think she said yes. So it didn't take us much longer after that to realize that he got the money, he got her stimulus money, and he spent it and did not tell her. Of course, he's probably watching this video by now. He's probably still watching this video, actually, because he's also a massive stalker. We'll get to that. So he's probably going like, that's not true, blah, blah, blah. she literally checked the deposit and everything, and it deposited into this joint account. So you mean to tell me that the money just disappeared and you didn't spend it? Okay. I'm not gonna say you like stole her money, because I think legally, if it's a joint account and you willingly signed into it, even though she was manipulated into it, the court of law is going to be like, why are we here? You kind of signed it, so that's on you, kind of thing. I just don't trust the court system. I don't trust the justice system in this country, to be honest with you, for a lot of reasons. So pretty much she had to start off with little to no money moving out here, and moving out here with little to no money, not really having a job secure. She luckily did get 2 jobs that hired her the week of that she was out here, which is another thing. She had to actually come out here 2 weeks early or 3 weeks early because, like I said, her ex just kind of convinced his parents to like kick her out and stuff. And so I flew down to Missouri. I luckily had like a 4 days off from work, so I just flew down and I drove with her to her car back to Maryland. So I did that in 2 days. I don't know how I did that, because from Missouri to here is like a 15-hour drive. So doing that in 2 days is kind of insane. So when we got here, we had to obviously get a hotel because the house that I used to live with my parents, way too full. My mom didn't know my girlfriend that well, so it was just pretty much, I was in a position where she was actually willing to sleep in her car, which I didn't feel comfortable doing that. So I was just kind of like, look, we'll just get a hotel for you. That way you can go to your new job, get started with that, start saving up some money, and things like that. So the money thing, we got that out the way. And I skipped the whole storage part. That was the whole point. So the storage unit that they shared, because again, he convinced her to share everything from food, which food abuse, I think that's a real thing. If not, it should be, because he was one of those people that was like, oh, I don't want the last bite. And then when you eat the last bite, he's like, why did you eat the last bite? You knew I wanted the last bite. I don't know if food abuse is a thing, but it should be. So with this storage unit, she told me that she was not allowed to go alone because he said that he's the only one that could have a key to that storage unit. So, so she gets her stuff, or as much as she can. She did say she left, like, again, some like a lot of childhood memories behind, pictures and stuff. So we get the paperwork for this storage unit and whatever, because I think she had to like sign some paperwork saying she's not part of it anymore or something. But when we looked at the paperwork, her name, her name was on the list, meaning that if she wanted a key at any time without him, she could have done so. Did I mention that this guy was a controlling, manipulative piece of garbage? No? Okay. He was also very controlling because things like that, he would lie, like blatantly lie about things that could be fact-checked easily. But I think she did admit to me that, she really, like, how do I say it? I don't want to, I'm not trying to make it seem like, she basically said, like, she just believed anything he said. Like, she just went with it because, one, she was that scared of him at that point, and two, it was just kind of like, he was that convincing. So, I'm not really gonna, like, harken her for that. But like in hindsight, she does realize now, like, dang, you know, he really got me with all these lies. And I'm like, yeah, pretty much. So took her money, lied about the storage unit thing, said a lot of racist things about me because, you know, black guy dating a white woman. Fun. Kicked her out early, even though at first he said that she could stay until she had to move. But of course we know that was complete BS now, because he kicked her out early because he just couldn't take it. Even though he wasn't even living in this trailer with her, she was living by herself. It just so happened to be on his parents' land or whatever. Which makes it even funnier to me, honestly. So I think I covered all that up until her moving. So she moved, we're doing fine. But it turns out that he's a bigger stalker than we thought, because he kept calling her every day. I want to say 10 times a day for like 3 months. She picked up the phone at first because, you know, she was trying to be friendly. I did try to be like, hey, you know, you're in a different state. You don't have to, you know, answer to him anymore. You don't have to pick up his phone calls. And she was like, no, well, I'm still going to be friendly, which, you know, it's hard to like break that chain. I get it. But I think after what I'm about to tell you, you're going to realize why she just kind of like said, no, thank you. So he calls her one time, she picks up, they have a conversation about the apartment that we were living in before this one. All I remember is that she told me that she said something about how much rent was, which for a 1-bedroom in the area that we were in, it was like 1300 or something. So he used that information, that little tidbit, that little minuscule tidbit. So he looked up, I kid you not, in real time on the phone, he looked up how much rent was in Maryland, and then he looked around for the exact number that she said, because she did admit that she said the exact number. So he looked around for the range between one number, I think it was like 1300 or 1400, and then he said on the phone, I know where you live. And she thought he was kidding, and then he said, no, you live at this apartment complex. And she told me she kind of froze, and she didn't know what to do next, so she kind of like kept the conversation a little bit friendly, so not to piss him off. And of course, some of you are like wondering, like, you know, what's the big deal about that? If he's in a different state, he really can't do anything. Well, one of the things I did forget to tell you is he would make constant, and I really do mean constant jokes about unaliving her. Like, not just once, not twice, not 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, multiple times about unaliving her. So, do with that information what you will. I know he's watching. I know he probably heard me say that. And now he's just trying to be like, I didn't mean it like that. I'm like, yes, you did. Yes, you did. And that's okay. Because you won't get to her anymore. She is safe in a whole different apartment that you don't know about. So I just wanted to reiterate that. So after that, it kind of calmed down with the whole her picking up the phone thing. She actually just stopped taking his calls altogether. But he did, actually to this day, we still think he's still calling her phone. But she doesn't pick up because she recognizes the area code and she knows what area code it's from. It's from the area that he lives in. So she doesn't pick it up anymore. She has her friend's phone number saved. She has her family phone number saved. So if she sees a random number from that area, we assume it's him just calling from a different phone, which he's done. Calling from a work phone, which he's done. She blocked him on everything to the point where he would email her. Again, and this is, I know this is a long video and I didn't mean it for it to be, but this goes into the whole YouTube thing why I haven't posted, because I just didn't feel comfortable posting about anything or talking about anything about the area I live in, because it was a safety thing for me. That was like one of the reasons why I was so hesitant on posting, because I didn't want to have any clues in the background about where I am currently in proportion to the apartment area that he knew we lived at. So I really was like, let me not post, because one, I know my mouth and I know I can say vile things when I get pissed off enough. So I just knew that I was gonna like want to say something mean and nasty, but I didn't want to aggravate anybody, because I've watched so many murder mysteries that the last thing I need is to be Mr. Alpha Dude that gets stabbed 57 times, you know. So I think I covered pretty much the whole. One of the last things I wanted to talk about before I moved on to the YouTube stuff is he still had access to her YouTube account and would watch my videos. And he would use her account to watch certain music videos, but if you watched them if you looked at the titles of the videos or the titles of the music he was listening to, it was definitely like a baiting situation to get a response out of her, because you know, I'm not gonna do it because, you know, good for him if he's moved on to someone else, but also can you get the F off of her YouTube account? That's really weird. She did do the thing to log people out of her YouTube account from different devices. Obviously, he probably figured out another way to get in, because again, he's very manipulative and he's just that good. So that was one big part of last year why 2022 was kind of hard for me, and her obviously, but yeah, it definitely made me hesitant on posting just for safety reasons. I really didn't want to do anything to tip my hand, so it was just more so for a safety reason. So this part is about me and only me, about the YouTube stuff that last year. So just want to get this out the way. Last year, I heavily underestimated how much it costs to live in an apartment, what it took to maintain being in an apartment, you know, bills. Like, I heavily underestimated that, because at my job during summer, I was probably working like twice a week, and that's not my job's fault. It's just that's how busy it was at the time, because I work at a restaurant. So I had a lot of money saved up from before I moved, because I knew that I definitely needed backup money in case anything happened, and boy oh boy did I need it. So long story short, I was financially struggling near the back half of the year. Also in the apartment, it was really hard to find a place to film that I was comfortable Like right now in this room, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm comfortable. I'm sitting in a chair. My cats are running around. I got the nice background. That bed is also very comfortable, by the way. So because I was struggling financially, I really did want to get back into YouTube, but then when I thought about it, I was kind of nervous personally that I was going to be doing videos and all this stuff, especially things that I really wanted to talk about that were popular at the time to talk about. I was more so nervous about seeming that I was all about the money and not the message. And what I mean by that is, I think, let me just pull one out. So what happened last year? The whole Jaclyn Hill calling out the drama channels thing, I think that happened in December or something. I had made one video about it, but I definitely wanted to make more videos about it. But like, the more I thought about it, it was just kind of like, do I care about what I'm saying, or do I care about the money that the video will make? And that's how I went about most of the year. Because the way I feel is, if I feel like I have to do something to gain something, then I'm going to try too hard. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm not going to be as attentive as I could have been, versus like right now, I'm doing something that I want to do. I'm doing something that I like to do. Like, I'm talking to you guys when I felt ready to talk about everything. It just didn't feel right to try to seem like I was capitalizing off of something versus doing something and not care about it. It made more sense in my head when I was thinking about it, but it just didn't feel right when I was struggling myself to be like, I have to make a video, I have to make money, and I have to say everything I need to say for people to watch, which is one of the main things I was afraid of. Was I gonna be biased or unbiased, or, well, not biased. Was I gonna be fair down the middle and look at it on both sides, or was I just going to look at it on the majority side and just agree with the majority and get the views that way? Because there was a lot of things I wanted to talk about last year. It's just mentally I couldn't do it, and like I said, struggling. I don't want to seem like I'm just a money hungry YouTuber, because that's not who I want to be. But I'm definitely in a place now where I feel like I can talk about things without feeling like I'm doing it for the money, and I'm doing it for the message. Like, yeah, we'll talk about some things that are like, for instance, I want to talk about Michaela Noguera, because there was a lot of things about her that I've noticed lately that was just like, it didn't make sense to me. So I do want to talk about her soon. Jaclyn Hill, definitely, because there's a lot of things that if you just take a step back and look, you realize that she's not as straight edge as she seems. I know this part's probably a little bit shorter, but this was more so like me explaining why there was also more lack of videos, because it wasn't just mental health. It wasn't just, I was tired. It was also because it didn't feel right. I know that sounds weird to say. It just, to me, it did not feel right to sit down, give you a video, and I wasn't being 100% authentic about it. So that's why I kind of just like remove myself from the equation. I don't know what else I need to say. I think I got everything out that I needed to. And I really didn't want this video to be long, so I will just cut it here. So thank you if you stayed until the end. I promise I'm gonna try to get more consistent videos out now, because with the second bedroom, I can record videos at night when, I have nothing else to do. Also, I really have to go to the bathroom, so I'm gonna end it here. So once again, it's me, it's Malcolm. Thank you for listening. I wish you good health. I wish you well, and I will see you again next time.